What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Four Christmases. So I was at Salvation Army the other day. That's one of my go-to spots for picking up movies, and I came across this. Got the Blu-ray right there. Gotta flex the Blu-ray real quick. Got that for the 3 ball, so not too bad. But yeah, surprisingly enough, I've never seen this movie in my entire life, and that's crazy because I'm a huge Vince Vaughn fan. I think he's absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I just came across this at Salvation Army. I'm like, how have I how have I never before heard of this movie in my life? Like, what am I doing with my life? So I picked it up, and just to get into my overall thoughts about the movie, I thought it was great. I thought it was super funny. I liked the story. It was super relatable. So yeah, I had a good time with this. So yeah, that's my opinion of the movie. And before I get into too deep into my review, I'm gonna get into a little plot summary here. So you got you got Brad, played by Vince Vaughn, and Kate, played by Reese Witherspoon. They're they're a couple. They're the age where a lot of people are getting married and having kids, but both of them are not interested in either of those things. So they're dating. They're totally happy, and they part of the reason for this, that they do not want to get married or have kids, is because they both come from divorced families, so they kind of know, you know uh, kind of the struggles of you know uh, raising a kid in a divorced family, and the struggles of marriage, and how it can turn out bad and all that. So that's like a big reason why they are just happy dating and not getting married. So anyways, um, every year they kind of skip out on Christmas. They just, instead of visiting their family, they just kind of come up with these different stories every year. Like they'll go on like a tropical island vacation and just rest and relax and totally skip Christmas, but they'll lie to their families and they'll say, "Oh yeah, we're doing charity work. We're going to, blah blah blah. We're going wherever. We're going on this mission trip." So they always say they always come up with these like elaborate stories of how they're going to do charity work. So this Christmas, it's the same deal. They're going on some tropical vacation to Fiji, but they lied to their families and they said they're going to do some charity work. Once they get to the airport, there's this bad weather and their flight is canceled, which, wouldn't be a huge deal, but then, a news channel comes in and interviews them, and they're busted. Their families see them on the news, and they're like, they know what's up. They know they're not really going to some charity trip. They're skipping out on Christmas and going on some vacation. So since the families find out that they're not really doing this charity work and they're in town, they Brad and Kate have to do 4 Christmases. They have to visit each of their parents' families for Christmas, like pretty much all in one day. So that is the basic plot summary. Now I'm going to get into my general review here. So, I mean, I already said this movie was very funny. Usually Vince Vaughn is always really funny. He was fantastic in this. But I just kind of want to go over some standout funny moments that I like. There's so many other funny moments that I'm not going to be able to get to, but I just wrote down a couple of standout, hilarious moments here. So I kind of mentioned that they get interviewed by this news channel. It's totally funny how they react because they're put on the spot. They know that their families are probably going to see this, so they want to play it off like they're not going on some tropical vacation. So Vince Vaughn just totally freezes up, and he doesn't want to give too much info out, so he's just like, and he just has this look on his face, like this look of total shock, like I'm busted, and he's just like, we take the trips, and then yeah, we take the trips, and just like his facial expression and his delivery and in that scene was just really funny. I don't know why I found that so funny, but that was hilarious. There was another sequence later on where Reese Witherspoon's characters, or Kate, I'm just gonna call her Kate. Kate's mom brings them to this church, and it's kind of this like new age hip church where they got like crazy music blasting. It's wild, and the church is putting on this play to kind of it's like a play of like the birth of Jesus, and the mom pretty much volunteers Kate and Brad, and they go up there, and it's so funny because Kate has stage fright and she totally doesn't want to do it, and she's just absolutely bombing, and Brad, he's just killing it. He loves it. He loves the spotlight. He's just like ad-libbing up there, just like cracking jokes later on. He's kind of like flaming Kate, making fun of her and stuff, and he's just like, you think they like my walk? Like he's got the charisma for days. He's just stealing the show. He's so into it. He goes absolutely try hard, and it's like a little church play. Like it's not that big of a deal, but he just goes so try hard. He acts like he's like a A-list actor. It's so funny. I really like that scene. There's this scene later on. So Kate's mom, she's kind of spiritual, lyrical, miracle. Like she goes to this kind of new age weird church, and she's kind of like, she's just weird with like her spirituality. I'm not hating, but you know what I mean. Like she's just one of those. She's not like traditionally religious, but she's just like got this new age spirituality about her. So instead of exchanging gifts, she has everyone like, I forgot exactly. It's either like say what they're grateful for or just say something they want spiritually. And they put the grandma on the spot. They call her Gram, and she's talking about like, I kind of wrote it down. I don't have the line exactly right. She's like, I want to be able to hook my husband up with like pleasure with my hands and mouth, and Vince Vaughn, he just like immediately reacts. He's like, is she really saying this right now? Like talking about pleasuring her 86-year-old husband with their hands and mouth? Like, what the heck is going on? Is this real life? And then they call on Brad. I think I keep mixing up. I'll say Brad and Vince Vaughn. I'm sorry about that, but they call on Brad to say what he's grateful for or what he wants, and he's like after you want me to go follow up that after Gram was talking about the hand and mouth stuff, and then he says some like sexual stuff that he wants like with Kate, and that scene was just, it was absolutely hilarious, and I was not expecting that because this movie, it's only PG-13, but it's super raunchy, like in a good way. Like it felt like a R-rated comedy, and I didn't expect this for like a PG-13 family Christmas movie. Like the humor, it was my type of humor. It was raunchy. It went there, like a lot of sexual humor, a lot of inappropriate stuff, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was hilarious. A couple like quick honorable mentions. There's this instance, like this is kind of in the same sequence right after Brad talks about what he's grateful for and what he wants, like after he follows up Graham, this baby basically vomits on Kate, and Brad is just dry heaving. He's like, "Oh, get it away from me! Get it away from me!" And Vince Vaughn's delivery is just so funny. Like, I don't know, I just like Vince Vaughn's like shtick where, you know, he does like the kind of like fast talking, and I don't know, I've just always found him really funny and always been a fan. I just like his delivery, like the way he delivers lines. Like, I don't know, he's just got a funny way about him, and that was really funny when he's like dry heaving. It's just, "Oh, get the baby away from me! I can't deal with it." And then, you know, this is another honorable mention. Brad's family, they're supposed to be, you know, kind of trashier, and they're not, you know, extremely wealthy, and like the hors d'oeuvres they bring out, it's just like crackers with spray cheese on it. I thought that was kind of funny. It was a nice little touch. But yeah, in terms of the funny moments, that's all the stuff I wrote down. There was a ton of other funny stuff, but I don't want this video to be like 10 hours, so that's that. I'm gonna move on here. So another thing that I liked is, you know, I liked how this movie kind of focused on divorced families, because I feel like a lot of Christmas movies really don't focus on that. And I feel like so many people have divorced families, and it's very relatable. I personally, like my parents are divorced, so I personally relate to this movie. And I don't relate to it in the fact where I try to skip out on Christmas, but when you do have, you know, divorced parents, and you have, you know, different family obligations, it makes Christmas like a little bit more of a chore, where it's like, okay, I gotta go make an appearance with my mom's side, I gotta go make an appearance with my dad's side. And it's like this balancing act where it's like you want to see your family, you want to have a good time, but it's like almost like it becomes work, like you have to like make like a schedule. So I really related to this movie, and I liked the fact that it centered around, you know, divorced families, because like I said, so many families are divorced, and I think a lot of people can relate to this movie, you know. So that's you know, pretty darn cool in my opinion. And then I also liked the romantic elements. I really liked Brad and Kate's relationship. You know, it once again, you know, so many movies, especially Christmas movies and romantic comedies and just romantic movies in general, a lot of the times they focus on this perfect couple, you know, the couple that's married, they have the kids together, everything is swell and dandy. You know, Brad and Kate, they were kind of like an atypical couple for their age. They weren't interested in, you know, marriage or kids, and, you know, they had these kind of wacky families, and they didn't really know that much about each other. It was just like an atypical romance, and I feel like it was real. You know, of course, the like a more traditional family that's married and has kids, that's real too. There's a lot of relationships like that, but there's like a lot of relationships like this too, and a lot of people, you know, don't get married and are still together for a long time, or they're scared to get married, or some people just never have kids. So I kind of like how this movie touched on that, and I kind of like the drama later on where, you know, Kate like figures out that she does want to get married and have kids one day, and Vince Vaughn's just not ready for it, because like a lot of guys, they don't really want to get married, and he has to come to terms with it. Like they already kind of set the boundaries of their relationship. Like they both, when they came into the relationship, they both agreed that, you know, this is what we want, this is what they don't want. I mean, this is what we don't want. So they, like, she kind of flipped the script on him, and like it was kind of nice. Like they realized, you know what, like they both love each other enough where they could compromise and let the relation, like the the terms and conditions of the relationship kind of change and grow and evolve over time. And Vince Vaughn, he's like, you know what? I don't think we're gonna do this. I keep saying Vince Vaughn, Brad, whatever. He's like, you know what? I don't think we're gonna make this step overnight. But he's like, you know what? Like, I care about you. If you care about this, I think this is something that we could do. I'm down for it. So I thought all the romantic stuff was really nice, and like I said, it was a change of pace. It was, this is a type of couple that really exists, like a lot of their, values and stuff. So it was cool to see that on screen, because you typically do see, the married couple with kids in these type of movies. So it was a nice change of pace. I really liked it. So that was the last thing that I wanted to touch on. That was the last thing that I had in my notes. So I'm going to get into my recommendation, and then I'm going to head out here. So I would absolutely recommend this movie. I think it's just a hilarious Christmas movie. I like the story. I think it's relatable. I think the dramatic elements are good. I think the romantic elements are good. It's just a solid movie. If you're looking for something to watch around Christmas time and you haven't seen Four Christmases, check it out. So now that I've given you all my recommendation and said everything that I want to say, I'm going to head out here. So thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.